Welcome to HR Resonance channel. Today, I am before you to provide the perspectives of labor law compliance and its importance. I can call this as creating value through labor law compliance audit, and we can call it as an essential skill. In any organization, good practices and policies go a long way in influencing business growth and also the development of the company. We can say labor law audit is a process of examining applicability and implementation of labor laws and applicable rules with respect to organization and HR function. In other words, it is a systematic assessment to the adoption and follow of the respective laws in respect of the organizational performance in the employment areas. To do this, one must know first of all the nature it is the nature of the company, structure of the company, management's hierarchy, and nature of the employment, types of the employees, wage, social security, service conditions, regulatory laws, welfare, association laws, and employment, and many more. To put it in a nutshell, the scope also includes broadly all applicable labor laws. And in this, we can see the coverage, implementation of provisions like working hours, leave, overtime, welfare, safety provisions, wage and salary, service conditions, etc. Further, one must know the persons responsible for the affairs of the company, timeline, social security, and good practices, compliance, at the same time, violations, if at all anything, avoidance, sometimes there will be concealing of the matters, wrong interpretations, and subjective factors. Ultimately, we have to see the justice and equity. Thus, we have to see a total climate of labor law compliance. To improve the contributions of HR and labor law functions to the achievement of business objectives, this will help. And also it helps to find out the problems and solve smoothly, timely and legal requirements also. Having said this one, some of the tools, what is that one can use in this? Number one, records, observations, document scrutiny, widgets, interviews, interrogations, discussions, objectives and procedures, information for proactive development. And to know the nature is to evaluate labor law compliance activity of an organization. It provides feedback. Overall, it's a quality control checks of HR functions. That is what one can say. Further, it also helps to examine the linkages between other functions like finance, taxation, planning, and other functions. It brings professionalism in the HR organization. That is one of the important aspects. Further, labor law compliance audit also throws a light on compliance, non-compliance, risk, lapses, pitfalls, dangers, exposures, harassment. To do this, there should be a clear business strategies and also the directions for HR and maintenance activities. And for this, top management should have the beliefs and behavior and successful implementation of proper HR policies. Culture and values have a lasting impressions and effects on the behavior of the employees. And further, we can say some of the approaches one can follow and understand is compliance. Review past actions to determine if these activities comply with legal requirements and company policies and procedures. Further, one more approach is MBO, what we call management by objectives. Approach creates specific goals against performance, how it can be measured. This is what MBO thing we can say. Ultimately, to say labor law compliance is a very serious affair and one should take it very seriously. Now, let us see what are all the components of the audit. First of all applicable labor laws. If it is a Shops and Establishment Act, on average, about 12 to 14 acts will be applicable. If it is a factory, about 12 to 16 laws are applicable. Further, construction workers, Plantation Act, Mines Act, things go on, so and so, with all the applicable laws. In that, one can see the documents, then licenses, registers, forms, acknowledgements, displays, facilities, payments, certifications, handbooks, inspection notes if any, employee informations, etc., etc. Thoroughly one has to go through and peruse all these aspects. And also nowadays it is gaining vendors compliance is also very, very important. It is not only the principal employer, but all the vendors compliance also play a very important role for total compliance and corporate good governance, we can say. And ultimately, it will help for doing the ease of the business. In connection with the ease of the business, Government of India has come out with a Shrama Suvidha portal wherein consolidate labor inspection one can see there. And thereby it will all help, and there is a time stipulated also to see the compliance in Shrama Suvidha portal. And for startup, entrepreneurs compliance mechanism based on self-certification. Startups can have a self-certification with a 9 labor and environmental laws through the mobile app. This is one of the big advantage for startups, which is encouraging in India now. No inspection for 3 years. But if there is a violation or if there is any written complaint by anybody, then there will be inspection, of course, subject to the approval of at least one step higher inspecting authority. But this is for certification for 1 year only. Subsequent years, one has to opt for compliance and they have to submit the returns. One more thing one must understand, all the auditors, duty cast on auditors are statutory audit, not only merely with the compliance with AS and SAS, but be more compliance oriented. Ultimately, what it is called is labor law compliance audit towards more compliance, more and more compliance, covering almost all gamut of applicable laws, procedures, and rules have to be seen in that. Well, my dear friends, this is how the brief in labor law compliance audit, which is a big subject and a serious aspect. All the organizations, whether it is small, medium, or big organizations, periodically, at least once in 3 years, they should get it done and see where they can stand, where they are standing. Or in other words, we can say do vigilance, do vigilance test, we can say, or due diligence audit, we can say. By doing this one will know where they stand, and based on that, further steps they can take and path can be derived towards more and more compliance. Last but not least, friends, compliance is cheaper than litigation. The cost of compliance is negligible when compared to the benefits derived from the same. This is what one has to understand, know, and go towards that one. I wish you all the best compliance, my dear friends. Be compliant and be safe and run your business smoothly without giving much problem and much exposure for unnecessary actions either by the authorities or regulatory authorities or by even employees union. Well, my dear friends, this is all about labor law compliance, importance and benefit. If you are liking, please don't forget to become subscriber to our HR Resonance channel. If you have any views or comments or suggestion, please post in comment box. Thank you very much for your patient listening and hearing. Look forward for more and more our useful video. Good day.